Rightio, how's it going? Welcome back, old and new. Alright, today, pretty much going to run through a 6-week mountain bike full body program that I recently programmed for a client. So, pretty much going to run through who the program is for, what the specific person's goals were, and why I tailored it specifically to their need and their current situation, and pretty much why I've written it just from my way of experience. Like, I've ran through a bunch of mountain bike from pretty well-known coaches programs over the past 5 or so years when I was mountain biking pretty much every day. So yeah. Right, first of all, we'll go through who the program is actually for. So this is for a mate who is a Kiwi. He's recently moved over to Canada probably the start of the year or just before the start of the year last year, and he went over for the ski field season. Pretty much decided his corporate job, whatever, go and do work and holiday in Canada. Why not? And I was like, pretty jealous of that. So he went over. He's been skiing all winter. Didn't go to the gym at all. Didn't ride his bike at all. And yeah, so he pretty much reached out to me and be like, yo, I'm trying to get back into the gym, getting back into riding now since it's the summer, working on a ski field that also has mountain bike tracks during the summer. So I was like, sweet, I can help you with that, Matt. Why not? So yeah, the client himself has experience lifting. Like, he's also a mountain biker that has been mountain biking for like years. He's probably been mountain biking like 6+ years, probably. You write in the comments if I'm incorrect on that, but and during a large amount of that time, he was under a coach or a personal trainer that written programs for him tailored to specifically to mountain bike training in the gym. So yeah. So what his goals were, pretty much since he'd be riding all summer, I've written a program for him that won't have too much of a recovery effect on him while he's riding. So riding to him is his top priority, gym is secondary. So unlike a normal person that goes to the gym, that the only thing they need to recover from is the actual gym work. When you're a mountain biker, especially a mountain biker that does more like enduro based and downhill mountain biking, your body takes a beating and you need recovery for that. He's essentially a hybrid athlete, if you want to call it. I know it sounds kind of lame saying that, but yeah, so recovery, it was a big factor in that. So the program itself is quite low volume, and I pretty much just written it so he can just get stuck into the gym, make some progress if he needs to, and yeah, essentially what the reason for is anyway. And yeah, I'll go through pretty much the actual program itself now. I ain't going to do like a full overview of the program step by step because I think that's kind of lame and really boring when people do that. But essentially, instead of like whooping his ass, putting him on some like super high strength block, I pretty much just eased him back in. Like, essentially, since he'll be doing a lot of lower body volume on his mountain bike, getting absolutely smashed riding down rock gardens on his mountain bike and like railing corners and shit, it's pretty gnarly. It's gonna be more of like an upper body emphasis. So, and he was happy with that. I pretty much asked him a few questions, when you onboard a client, and that's one of them. He wanted more of an upper body focus, so there's a lot of the basic movements that he already knows, like the basic compounds, like the barbell wide grip barbell bench press. He'd done a lot of those strength based things, like the low bar back squat and so on. So there's a bit more volume tailored to the upper body. And obviously has some low body volume because that's super important when you're a mountain biker. And essentially when you're a mountain biker, unlike a gym bro who cares more about his biceps and his arm size, when you're a mountain biker you need strong resilient shoulders. You need a strong trunk and a strong core stability from like rotational impacts and so on. You need incredibly strong legs, and you need a strong hinge. That's really important, and obviously a strong back. Because when you're mountain biking going downhill, you're essentially in like a hinged deadlift position, and you're doing push-ups at the same time as you're smashing down a rock face. It's like, you got to be pretty strong. Obviously, you do build that strength from just riding itself. Riding itself is obviously the most important thing. Like, doing your sport is the more important thing than going to the gym and be like, oh, the gym's going to make me such a better rider. It's like, no, that's just to support it. It's an assistance to the actual sport itself. So, Yeah, and obviously you obviously don't know this. I've made this a 5-day rolling split, so it's a split that he preferred, which he has ran previously with another coach. So you'll do 3 days on in a week, then 2 days the next week. In the first week, he will do heavy compound squat, but on the second week, he doesn't want to do a heavy compound squat just due to recovery. He will then do another thing such as like maybe a pause squat with a lighter weight, like a high bar squat, or a Smith machine squat, or a hack squat, or a leg press. You know the deal. Yeah, so that's how I've pretty much programmed it in for him. I put him some important things. I think core is quite a big thing, so there's a bit of ab crunch. Probably not as important as some of the other core stuff. I put Russian twist in. I think having quite strong obliques is quite important to be a mountain biker, the rotational impacts and stuff. Some farmer carries, and I think there's a Palloff press in there potentially somewhere. But yeah, and a lot of this is optional accessory work as well. So as long as he gets his main chunk in of the upper body and lower body, then he's laughing. And obviously, being a full body, if on days he has to go on a mountain biking trip or something or whatever, as long as he's hitting at least one or two of those full bodies in a week, then he will still make gains. And obviously, if he just does one full body a week, he'll probably maintain what he has. So it's quite a flexible split based on his personalized needs, which is great. Also, with every program that I write, I also attach a FAQ, and these are questions, pretty much just generalized questions based on the actual program. I'm going to overlay this over the screen because for some reason I can't drag it over. It's been kind of annoying. So I've got what is a double progression. So there's some progression notes on how you should perform the lift in a specific periodization / progression. So double progression. I think a lot of people do double progression by instinct. It's just adding a rep each week to your sets till you get to the top end of the rep range, and then you can add more weight the next week, and then you continue. There's also a little special thing I kind of learned from Paris, actually, one of the guys I follow programs for. I'm not mountain biking as much anymore. I just kind of focus more on hypertrophy and strength, so that's kind of more the realm I'm going down at the moment. Dynamic double progression is one thing I recently learned. It's kind of just double progression, but instead you put more weight onto the top set once that's maxed out. Then the other two sets kind of follow like a more standard double progression. And then each time each time the set gets to the top end of the range of all three sets, that goes up in a weight. So it's a bit. I think I kind of prefer it for like bigger compounds and so on. It seems to work pretty well for me anyway. Once you pass the old proper beginner stage. I also mention about like RPE. RPE is completely different ball game when you're an athlete. Like, sorry, that's when you say it. I'm not saying that people go to the gym and athletes, but like if you're a hybrid athlete, like if your riding's having a big recovery impact, like you've got to ask yourself, like, how much riding have I been doing? How are my stress levels? How much have I ate today to fuel my session? And have I got any injuries? Because when you're a mountain biker, it's pretty likely you're going to get some acute injuries now and then, whether it's like a big bruise or a little twist of the wrist or sprain here and there. So based on your RPE off that on an individual day basis, individual session basis, pretty much on your general preparedness of the session, then that's a better way to go about things rather than just kind of pre-planning your RPE in. So you have mentioned like if say you should probably push your RPE around 8 if you can. If he's feeling particularly eager on the day or he's feeling super fresh, RPE 9 could be a good idea. But probably more likely towards the end of the program if he's feeling up for it, like 5th or 6th week, you can just push to RPE 9. Another reason why I've kind of programmed it this way is just to kind of ease him back into like heavyish lifting rather than just putting him straight on a strength block. And obviously being summer, riding is way more important to him at this point. Like it's what he does, it's what he finds the most fun. Like he's not a gym bro, he's just in there in the gym to build a bit more resilience, a bit more strength so he can ride his bike better. And like riding itself builds a little bit of strength here and there, but like the only way you're going to get better is if you do your actual sport itself. The gym is just a bit of like just a little tick a few little boxes in little areas where you can't build when you're on your bike. So yeah. I'm doing the erms again. And I've pretty much put, do I put more volume? So that's another question in there. So it is on the lower end of the volume scale, so I'm not really sure how much volume Max is used to, and obviously he's had a long layoff, so it's probably a bad idea to jump into his older volume that he's used to. So I've put it on the lower volume end, and it's pretty much said run the program for a couple of weeks, and if he thinks he needs more volume straight off the bat, we can adjust things here and do little tweaks here and there to the actual volume of the program. So like a couple of extra set here and there on some of the big lifts maybe might be all good. We have no idea till he actually runs it. So he hasn't actually went and ran this program yet. I think he's either running it this week or next week, but I'll have to check in if I'm on that. I've also added some bit of recommendations and stuff, such as sissy squats I've put in there. I don't know if he's done them before. I've pretty much just went and been like, yo, don't go crazy range of motion on these first. Obviously, range of motion is important in the fact that it increases your mobility while doing an exercise, and you don't have to stretch as much, which is cool. Probably if you're mountain biking, you probably should be stretching your hips outside of the gym as well, but that's another story. So, and the last thing we want this person, my client, to do is hurting his knees. So he won't be able to ride his bike if he hurts himself in the gym. So just go easy on it, work your way into it in control. Have some eccentric control. And there's a bit some more notes around eccentric control. I'm not going to read everything on here anyway, but yeah, I might even put this FAQ up for anyone that's interested, or even this program up for anyone that's interested in it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to run through everything on it, because that'd be boring as shit. So if anyone's interested in this program though, I could give it up for free. And also I'm actually doing some free coaching at the moment, so please reach out if you're a mountain biker, whether you're a mountain biker, whether you want to just better in the gym, you want to build on your physique, you want to build some size, you want to build some strength. If you're a skateboarder, I've also been a skateboarder for years, and I know what specific movements that you need to do to work on specific areas that you may neglect when you're skating. So yeah, just give me a shout. And yeah, thanks for coming along and me just talking absolute shit. So goodbye. Have a great evening, day, morning, wherever you all are. Catch you later.